Hello, Days of Our Lives fans. This is for Monday, uh, March the 31st. I see I put on my intro that this was already May the 31st. Oh, gosh, I'm a nut. So, Rafe is sneaking up through the tunnels. He's going to plant a microphone in EJ's home to try to trick him into try to get him to incriminate himself somehow. So many people, excuse me, after EJ. So he's getting ready to walk out of the house. I've got the hiccups. Uh, EJ catches him and says, "Rafe, well, what are you doing here?" And he said, "Oh, I'm here to see Johnny." And he takes that time to just pour salt in EJ's wounds. Oh, okay. So he told him Johnny moved out. He said, "So, you're finally suffering the consequences of your actions." So Rafe ends up leaving. And EJ is very suspicious, and he's looking all over the room, and he should be. Meanwhile, Jada is at Belle's house, and she's trying to convince her to wear wire to trip EJ up so he can incriminate himself and they can put him in jail forever. And she outed Belle and stuff. I can't stand Jada. I just can't stand her. Her or Tate. They're on my poop list lately. So Belle finally gets wound up after she reminds her of how he did her and blah, blah, blah. And Belle's like, hell yeah, I want to put that son of a bitch in jail. So there she goes. She's going to go get wired up. Meanwhile, JJ, and Sean are talking, and JJ's like, well, just tell me it's none of my business if it is, but what's going on with you and Jada? Are y'all going to tell Rafe? And he said Jada requested that they not tell him. She doesn't want to tell him. She thinks it'd be too much for him to handle, at least right now. And JJ said, well, you don't have to worry about me, man. Your secret's safe with me. You confided in me. Whatever y'all want to do. And he said, well, if she changes her mind, I'm going to support her. Whatever she wants to do, I'm okay with it. And JJ's like, do you have feelings for Jada? And I don't think he even answered that today anyway. So in comes Belle and Jada, and they're going to go on and hook her up. And she's going to go over to EJ's, and JJ's going to be in a van across the street from EJ's house. So that picture's in the wrong place. That's where she first went to Belle's house. That one should have been in front of the other one. So, Sean and JJ are telling Belle, good for you, Belle. You're doing a good thing. And she said, I'm doing the right thing. So she doesn't feel necessarily that good about it, but she's ready to stab her man in the back. So Rafe walks in when Sean is talking to Jada, because she says she's just not going to tell him. She doesn't think he can handle it. But then when she finds out he told JJ, she said, I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him myself. So he came in, and Jada asked him to be alone, and she said, there's something I got to tell you. And I guess she will be telling him sometime this week. It was not on today's show. So here goes Belle, all wired up and looking all pretty. And she knocks on EJ's door and says, I miss you too. Because he had sent her a text saying he missed her. So she's going to take advantage of that. And here he is looking at her a little bit suspiciously. Don't fall for it, EJ. And poor little EJ just wants to be loved. Criminals need love too. Especially our main dude criminal, EJ.Marlena. So as we left the other day, we find out Orpheus is behind John's disappearance and trying to build the nuclear weapon. That's a file that Patch and them found over at the facility. Meanwhile, Orpheus is, of course, as we showed you before, he's in there with Marlena. He explains a few things to her and then pulls a gun on her. And meanwhile, back in the facility, they're looking over the file, and Patch is like, I should have known it was Orpheus. So he sends Andrew back to be with Marlena so he don't get in trouble with the ISA. And him and Paul are going to search the facility until they find John. Well, when he gets back to the facility, now this is when he's, I don't think you can see it in that picture. He's pulled a gun on Marlena. and he tries to shoot her, and she throws up a suitcase or something. It was happened so fast I couldn't tell what happened, but here they are in the throes of it. Yeah, that looks like some kind of bag she hit him in the head with. So she zip-tied him and set his butt down at the table. So when Andrew gets there to the hotel room, he's like, I got to tell you, we found out who was behind all this. And she's like, yeah, I know. So there he is sitting there. She's got him zip-tied with his hands. I don't guess his feet were zip-tied. And Andrew's like, I'll take it from here. And she's like, I'm going to the facility. And he's like, Marlena, don't. She said, it's my husband and I'm going. So off she goes. So Andrew is, she's asking, do you need me to stay here and help you? She said, he attacked me and I subdued him. Now I'm going. And so here he's talking on the phone to the ISA to come and pick up this loser. And I already knew what was going to happen before it did. And sure enough, he turns around when he's off the phone, and who's gone? Orpheus. He's gone. They didn't zip tie his feet or tie him down. They only zip tied his hands. What the matter with you, Marlena? If you're going to subdue somebody, subdue them the right way. So anyway, back at the facility, they're breaking into stuff, and he broke into this room, shot a guy, and there was John with his head laying down, and Marlena walked in and said, John, is that John? And that's a wrap for today. It's how it ended.